Now let us discuss some of the commands which will be very useful for our discussion. Say one of the command that is called base name. Okay. When I say base name is a external command, it is not the part of internal shell command. Now assume that, now look into this particular present working directory here. So we are inside /home/Manmohan. This is the home directory of my user account in this command. Now there is a one file created here uh, with an extension C. Its name is test1.c. Now, while working with this particular program or working this particular file, say I can use one command called base name, and after that I can use full path name. File name is test.c. File name is the absolute path name. Now I will write the file name along with the absolute path name. When we say it is an absolute path name, we will write beginning with the, we will identify the location of the file with respect to the root folder. That is the topmost folder in a Linux file systems. Root. Under the root folder, we have a folder called home. Within that, there is a my home folder in my name, that is Manmohan. And within that, we have a file called test1.c. Now here, if you notice that this particular file name is entered with its full path name, or it's also called as absolute path name. Now what is an absolute path name? Absolute path name starts from the slash, that is root. Root home/manmohan/test.c. So in the Linux folder root, there is a folder called home, and within the home folder there is one more folder called Manmohan, and within that folder called Manmohan we have a file called test.c. Now this entire path name, the way in which we wrote, looks like one single string. Now in this, how we can, whenever we use the so-called absolute path name, how we can extract only the file name. For that you can use the command called base name. The moment I write base name and some absolute path name, from the absolute path name it will extract only the file name. Now look into the output here. test1.c. So all other path names are hidden here. /home/manmohan/test1.c. In that, from that only the file name is extracted. So what base name? Base name extracts the base file name from absolute path name. Okay, that remaining part of the file name is stripped off. And there are some variations here. In case if you want to strip that extension also from this particular path name, you can mention it. Say, I will write the extension here. If you do like that, that .c is removed. Extension part is also will be hidden. So if I write in this way, remember the complete file extension is removed. Okay, these are the different minor variations here. Base name is used with the two arguments. It strips off second argument from the first argument. So then you can use this particular technique to rename a file. Okay, you can write a shell program to rename the file also. For example, you can write, say for example, for, then you can write file in star.c to, because it can continue like this with, because there is a greater than symbol comes here. Your complete shell script can be continued there only. Say for example, left name equal to base name. So remember, I am using one character called tilde here, which comes just above the tab key, left tab key of your laptop, or below the escape key. There is a character called, that is called a tilde. It is not a single quote. It is called as a tilde. So left base name, then you can write dollar. Now you are using base name command. Base name from a file. The first file with the .c I have given there, file name, and we are going to extract extension from it. Say for example, C and the tilde. Then you can write move. Try to understand what is happening in all these commands. Move dollar file is equal to, sorry, move dollar file dollar left name, that is the output of the base name dollar file space C output. Okay, and this is string concatenation happens here. Doc. Now can you imagine what is happening within this particular command? So in a directory, so I am using a for loop for file, okay, all the files in the current working directory, which ends with the .c. Any file, star is a regular expression, star.c. All the files which starts with the, ends with the .c, one by one will be assigned to this particular variable file. So we have test1.c now. Okay, we have test1.c here. That is assigned to file. So from that file, I am extracting from the test1.c, I am extracting C. What is remaining is called test1 is assigned to left name here. File name test1 is assigned to left name. In the second command here, I am moving that particular file, dollar file, whatever is assigned here, that is file name, that is I am renaming the file here. Move the original file test1.c and rename it as left name, that is a test1.c doc. That will be the output. The moment I press enter key, now if you find ls -l, you can notice the one file which ends with the .doc file. look here, test1.c is renamed as doc. So this can rename any number of files. Say for example, let me create many files, say t1.c, t2.c, sorry, like command to create is touch t1.c. Touch command creates a file with 0 bytes, no content in it. Okay. Similarly, you can create one more file, t2.c, t3.c. You can see all these files in the folder now. Three files are created here with all file size equal to 0. File size equal to 0. Now the moment I execute this script, the previous script, this will rename all the files which is ending with the .c to file name or the base name with an extension of doc. Now let me execute the previous command, previous shell script at once. Now try to find out the content in the folder. Now you can see that all the three files, C program files, its extension is changed to .doc. So this is a trick of modifying or giving a new name to all the files. You can write a simple shell script. Okay. This can be the shell script. It carefully uses base name option here. So base name command extracts only the file name, and base name file name space one extension C that extracts strips of .c extension, and to the file name t1 it creates a new extension doc with this command. Try to analyze this. Okay, this is about a base name command. So that's about the base name. Similarly, you can, another interesting command for us is set and shift. There are two commands, set and shift. Now what is set and shift? This is one feature. You can write set. Then you can assign any number of inputs, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, etc. Okay, I will stop here. Say set. Now what has happened here? So there is an internal command, set statement. Set assigns its arguments to the positional parameters $1, $2, $3, etc. Now with the set space, then I used 1, 2, 3, 6 numbers like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, etc. Now all these values are assigned to positional parameters $1. When I say echo $1, it will say 10. Similarly, if I say echo $2, next value 20 will be displayed. Echo $3, you will get 30. Echo $4, you are going to get to 40, etc. and so on. Similarly, in case if you try, say echo $0, what you are going to get? You are going to get the shell name. Okay, that's it. Bash is the shell name here. Okay. And similarly, if you write echo, then the next command for us may be something like $. It will print all the positional parameters 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So I assigned 6 numbers to the positional variables $1, $2, $3, etc. All the values are displayed as it is. Similarly, you can notice one more characteristics, that is, if you write $at, that also gives you the same output. And hash here, it will not give the count here, sorry. So these are the outputs. Okay, we can use it. Can use this feature whenever you want to input multiple numbers. Say, for example, if I tell you to enter n numbers from the keyboard, then you can use a set that many numbers. And after that, all those numbers will be assigned to $1, $3, $4, etc. You can consider $1, $2, $3, etc. as a variable names. For that, set command will assign different values. You can enter the value from the keyboard. And one of the very interesting feature or you can get with the set is, say for example, generally when you say date command, you're going to get this output. It says Saturday, today's date, time, and the Indian Standard Time as well as year. Now I will use a set command with this set, and then again tilde. Within the tilde command, I will write this command called date. If I assign date command, of course, within the tilde, if I use this date with the set command, now what is the output? You're not going to get immediate output in the monitor, but now output of the date is assigned to all the positional variables. So to the $1, Saturday is assigned. For $2, September is assigned. For $3, this 26 is assigned. Next string. For $4, this time is assigned. $5, this string ist is assigned. $6, this string is assigned. Let us check it. In case if I say echo $1, it will say Saturday, first string of date output. Echo say for example 6, it will say year. If I say $4, then it will extract time. That means this date command, set command, assigns the output of date to automatically to all the positional variables beginning from $1. Then as per your requirement, these outputs can be utilized by you in a program. Maybe sometimes whenever you write you can use all these features in your shell scripts. How to use it, when to use it, why to use it, that depends upon your program and the shell script, whatever you are going to write. But these are some features you need to remember what set command does. Well, okay. So if there is any doubt on this, you can ask me also. You can stop in between, no problem with that. Now, say for example, if one more output maybe, if I say echo $, all the positional parameters are displayed here. Sometimes you may prefer to write it within the quote also, no problem. That will give you the same output. Or if I write, say, $1, $2, $3. First three strings. First three strings are displayed here. Now, so we are going to discuss about one more command called shift. Shift command shifts the arguments to the left. Okay. Many scripts use a first argument to indicate a separate entity, say a file name, first argument. The other arguments could then represent a series of strings, probably different patterns to be selected from a file. Okay, whatever, that depends upon your program. For this to be possible, for should start its iteration from the second parameter onwards, because the first parameter is file name. Second parameter may be the actual arguments. This is possible with the shift argument. Shift transfers, listen carefully, shift transfers the content of positional parameters to its immediate lower numbered one. This is done as many times as the statement is called. When called once, $2 becomes $1, $3 becomes $2, and so on. Let us try this. Say now echo $1, $2, $3. It says Saturday, September 26. Now let me try with the shift command. I will say shift. Now what is going to happen? $2 value will be shifted to $1. So now you can check it out. In the previous command, you can see that $2 is a September. Now look into that. $2 becomes $1. $2 becomes $3. Sorry, $3 becomes $2. Everything is shifted to the lowered index numbers. Now, if I say echo $1, you have September here. Otherwise, what we did with this command is that you are going to get an output. Original output is this Saturday, September 26. Then timestamp should be there. Now by making it shift, $2 now contains September, that will become $1. Echo. Now see what previously $1 was Saturday, $2 was September. Now $1, you can see that it is September. Similarly, $2 is 26. Otherwise, it is 20. It is not 26. Okay, it was September. Now it is 26. $3 actually now becomes the third string, that is a timestamp. That also shifted internally. So shift, listen carefully, shift transfers content of positional parameters to its immediate lower numbered one. That means $2 becomes $1, $3 becomes $2, $4 becomes $3, $5 becomes $4, and so on. Whatever the positional parameters, that will be shifted to the left side. Sometimes you can make it to shift for multiple steps also. Now you can see this, the actual $1 is Saturday, $2 is September, $3, etc., 26, etc. Now in case if I say shift 2, now positional variables will change its value, shift its value by 2 to the left. That is 3 becomes 1 now. $3 becomes 1. Say check out. Echo. Actually it should be 26. Now it will be there in $1. $1 is 26. Content of the positional values is shifted by 2 positions. Okay. Maybe sometimes this also will become very useful while using this. And at the same time, there is one more command, environment variable called IFS. You can print its value, echo $IFS. Generally, by default, it is blank. Okay. By default, it is blank. Now, sometimes you can use it for separating out some values. Say, for example, here, let us try. I will set IFS value. Wait a second. Like others can switch off your microphone. It is creating a lot of noise here. At my end, it is creating a lot of noise. Now I changed this IFS from the blank to a slash. Okay, IFS value from the blank to space this. Now assume that I'm entering one value, maybe some date. Let's say 15th February 20. Now check the positional parameters here. You're going to get this particular value. I assigned 15/02/20. So, but that is extracted from the given string. Instead of assigning it or everything with the every string 15/02/20, you can notice that slash is eliminated from the string, the first string whatever I pasted. I transferred date in a in a suitable format and assigned it to $1. From that, slash is eliminated because the environment variable is slash now. That's why I did it in the ifs command. So you remember this particular feature also. After that, we'll try to solve one program using what can be done with this. Okay, this is also very important parameter, and you can also notice the use of IFS. Okay. Any character can be assigned to IFS. So that IFS will detect the delimiters between different parameters, whatever we are going to use. Okay, now going into the advanced programming concept where we left out, stopped in the last class, particularly in a position where with arrays. Okay, we also discussed about how to enter the value to the array, etc. So, for example, if I say one variable name x with the square bracket 2, then if I say, for example, Manipal, now if I enter, if I want to print this output dollar, now observe it very carefully. It says echo $x and square bracket 2. It is not going to print Manipal. How we can make it to print the value Manipal stored in that particular variable? Then you can use it with the echo the value stored in, say, for example, dollar, then write the floor bracket, then write the variable name x, sorry, made an error. Look into the output, close it with the floor bracket. Then you are going to get the string. Okay. Note that evaluation is done with the curly braces. Evaluation of the expression is done with the curly braces. X of 2 is treated just like a variable. X of 2 is treated just like a variable. It, however, doesn't conflict with the variable prompt that you may also define in the same shell. Say, for example, now take one more example, how to assign elements to the array. Say, for example, now we assume one number array. You want to assign, I can give a name to the array called number array, then write brackets. Then you can go on entering 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 99. Now what happened here? How you can print these elements now? Then you can go to say echo, then dollar, use the curly brace, write the name of the array, num underscore arr, okay, and then give the proper index If I say, for example, if I want to print 99, 0, 1, 2, so try with this. I'm going to get the 9th element from the array. I declared one array here. Array name is num_arr, and I assigned values within the brackets. Array indexing starts with 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, etc. For the 9th element, I entered 99 and I printed it with the curly brace. So dollar curly bracket array name with the index, close the bracket. That will give the array elements. This is how we can pre-assign array elements, and with the dollar symbol you can extract that. Once if you know that array element, how to extract, etc., then you can try to separate it out, separate all the values also. Then how to get the length of the array? That's also very important. Now when the moment you say NUMRR, then you can also say that now NUMRR element contains 10 elements. Echo dollar, then write the floor curly brace, then write hash, and write the array name NUM_ARR. The length of the string, particularly this will work in, this will work in con. The length of the string can be easily found by preceding variable name with the hash. Okay, variable name with then hash. If you type it, it can give you the length of the array. Now from then similarly the extracting the name is also possible. Extracting the name extracting a string by a pattern matching. Say for example, to remove the extension from the file name, remove the extension from the previously we have used one external command called base name. Okay, and we studied how to do it. Okay. Now look into this particular command. Say for example, there is a fully qualified domain name, how to extract the strings from the file name, etc. Say for example, one domain name, fully qualified domain name, or some variable, whatever it may be. I will write it manipal.edu.in. Say for example, one random fully qualified domain name. If I write it in this way, that entire string is assigned to variable called fqdn. Now you write echo, write dollar, then curly bracket, variable name, now write percentage. This percentage symbol after the variable name deletes the shortest string that matches the variable content at the end. Okay. If I write it, Look into the output. The dollar symbol after the variable name, sorry, the percentage symbol after the variable name deletes shortest string that matches the variable contents at the end. In this way, Manipal is extracted from the fully qualified domain name. Otherwise, you can use that base name option also. Other than that, this is the one of the technique without using base name. Okay, now let us discuss about how to write functions. Okay, how to write in a C language also we know what is the function. Now let us discuss about how to write the function program in shell programming. Okay, for that I will explain the basic concepts with my notepad. If you want, you can take down those notes also while explaining. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So any program in C language say contains one main program. So here, so whenever you want to do some tasks which is repeating many times, or some task, say for example, you're going to write one set of instructions which you want to repeat many times, you're free to write it as a function. Function 1 you can define. Advantage is that whenever you write a function, there is a procedure for writing the function also. A function should have a separate name, and there can be multiple arguments also. Whatever the arguments you want to send, you can indicate it here. Then you can do some task here. Whenever a function is called from the main program, function 1, control transfers to this function from the main program to function. Function program will execute After that, control will be transferred back to the next line. Then here again, after executing some other things, once again you can call the function any number of times. The moment you call these functions with its name, control will be transferred to the function. This function program is executed, then come back to the main program. This is what is happening in any function call. So such a program becomes very useful for us whenever you want to do some tasks repeatedly. So for example, our NPR problem, say for example n factorial into n minus r factorial, etc. Here you have to calculate factorial many times. To calculate factorials, you can write a separate function called fact. And fact of x, fact of a number x, then you calculate factorial here, return the result to the main program. So in the main program, you can call it for once n. For n, you can call it n, or you can call this function as something like a fact of n. Assume that control will be transferred, it will calculate factorial of n, that n is assigned to x, etc. That is the C language internal aspects. Then return result, you can store it in, say for example, a new variable n1. Similarly, you can call the same function once again, fact, but different value, n minus r value. Again go to the function, that value will be assigned to, say for example, n2. So then you can compute your NPR or whatever it may be is equal to n1 divided by n2. If you are not writing a function every time, for n also you have to write the same set of instructions of calculating factorial. For n minus r also you have to repeat the same. So we can avoid a program, and we can make a program very compact by using functions suitably. Now a shell function is like any other function. It executes a group of statements as a bunch. Optionally, it also returns a value, like C program. C also can return a value. This construct is available in most modern shells, where you can use them to condense important routines to a short sequences. The syntax is also very simple here. You have to write a function name. Write the function name. Then with bracket, begin and end. Then you write statements here. Shell statements, shell program statements. And after the computation, if you want to return some value, then you write a keyword called return value. Okay, of course this is optional. So in case if you want to return the value, you can write it. Otherwise, no. This is very optional parameter. The function definition is followed by this bracket. This is mandatory. And the body is enclosed with the curly braces. This is also compulsory. While writing functions. This statement return is optional. If you want to return some value, return is the keyword, value is the item you are going to return. In case if you write a function to calculate factorial, if the factorial is assigned to f, then you say return f. So this is how you have to write this. So now you can, by having this particular knowledge, you can rewrite, you can write a shell script to calculate NPR and NCR solutions. Okay, there you implement a function to calculate factorial, use it to calculate NPR as well as the NCR, where N and R is input. You need to calculate it, permutations and combinations of formula. Such programs can be solved in a very optimal or very modular way. So practice some simple programs in this way by using the shell script. Okay, after writing the shell program, there you have to implement the functions, function call, how to call the function, how to get the return value, etc. If you, I'm not going to solve the problems, but in particular that is left to you. But while implementing any code, shell script, you can, if you are not getting the expected result, you can communicate your program to me as well via the email also, and we can discuss. So you can mail to my email ID. Try to solve as many as problems as possible. Because now you know for loop, you know while statement, you know case statement, and now we also discussed about functions. We also discussed about arrays. Okay. In a way, you can try to solve many problems, whatever you already solved in PSCs. Simple problems, don't complicate things. You can try to write a shell program to add, or say for example, add n numbers, finding out odd and even numbers stored in an array, counting the number of zeros in an array, and converting the digit to numbers using the case statement, and finding largest of 3 numbers, largest of 4 numbers, largest and smallest of n numbers, entered numbers. See, all such simple numerical numericals you try to solve with the shell programs from whatever we discussed so far for the program constructs. Let me look into some of the important things which will be useful for you while coding or writing some scripts. Now one more hint whatever I can give. Say for example, I can give a problem like write a program to change the extension of media file. Say, sometimes if you copy any movie file, particularly from VCD, in the VCD you may get file name with the extension .dat. You might have noticed it. Some ABS 01 etc. file name will start with DAT. Like this, if you have a collection of, if you copy all the files in different data files, so you can rename this particular collection of your videos or the VCD data with an extension of .mpg. So you can rename the file. This can, you can write a shell program. Even if you have thousands, hundreds of video files, you can rename it with a new extension, or possibly you can rename it with a new file name with the shell script. Instead of changing it one by one, you can directly try to change the path names accordingly. Okay. So with this particular hints on the shell programming, In the next lab onwards, we are going to discuss with the system administration commands. Some of the basic system administrations, what you can do as a system administrator in your desktop at least, how to create users, delete users, changing the permission bits of the users, etc. We are going to discuss it in the next class. So now if you have any doubts, you can ask me. Whatever so far we discussed, out of that, if you have any doubts, you can discuss. Any doubts? Okay, then that's it for today, whatever I decided. So practice as many as problems. Try to implement some shell programs. In this process, if you have any problem, if you get any doubts in the command line commands or writing the script, etc., you can send your code with your own code. You can send to me and we can discuss about that. Okay. Similarly, try to solve as many as problems at the end of the textbook, maybe in the Sumita Bhatt's textbook or any other textbook. You can take it as a reference. The standard textbook, whatever is mentioned in the lesson plan. You can take it, try to solve as many problems. Yeah, any doubts? Okay, let me stop the class here today. We'll see you in the next class. Thank you all.